This is an overview on the movement pack. This is the ultralight model made out of the Ultra fabrics. This is the 35 liter. This is the 40 liter. These ones have Ultra 100 for the main body, the front and the side panels, and it's Ultra 200 for the bottom, the side pockets, and the back panel. Front pocket is lycra mesh. The weight of the packs is, of the 35 liter is about 14 ounces when everything is stripped off it. So if it was just a frameless pack, no frame, no hip belt, no top strap or anything. And then fully loaded with all of the features, top strap, hip belt, frame, back pad, load lifters, is about 23 ounces for the 35 liter. For the 40 liter, it's about 15 and a half ounces stripped down and about 24 and a half fully loaded. These packs are a great option if you're curious about going frameless but don't want to make the leap to buying a frameless pack over a framed pack. These are basically the same as our frameless Superior packs, but they have the addition of the stay tube back here, which only adds about not even an ounce to the weight. This setup is also just great for something like a through hike where you might want a very light, 14, 15 ounce frameless pack, but then, if you're on something like the PCT where there's going to be long water carries, you can add the 2 ounce stay and the hip belt and still have a very light setup. The belt weighs about 4 ounces. You'll also want the foam back pad inserted whenever you're using the stay, just to keep it off of your back. You can get away without using the foam back pad if you're not using the stay. The back panel is a wicking lycra mesh, which will wick sweat away from your back. Stretchy. You can fully remove the hip belt and the frame. Hip belt weighs about 4 ounces. And there's a single aluminum stay, which weighs about 2 ounces. And when both of those are removed, it's basically a very light, minimal, hip beltless, frameless backpack. Pretty much the same as our Superior packs, just with the addition of the stay tube, which just adds a little bit of weight. Foam back pad. Which you can use as a sit pad. It's 1/2 inch Evazote. This weighs about 0.8 ounces. You can also use a folded 1/8 inch torso pad shoved into the back panel if you want to eliminate that 0.8 ounces. The side pockets are replaceable shock cord. You can have them be fully expanded or pull with one hand and cinch it up. There's 3 attachment points along the side panel of the 35 liter and 4 attachment points along the side panel of the 40 liter. You can use these same straps that are connected to the load lifters. There's a G-hook on each end. Remove them if you'd like to. And use them as side compression. Or with these little packs, roll top packs, you really don't need a whole lot of compression on them. You can pretty much get enough compression usually by rolling them down. So if I am using these, it's usually for attaching something to the sides like snowshoes or skis or something like that. These same straps can also be used as bottom straps for carrying a sleeping pad or a tent or whatever you have on you at the time. And this modular strap setup is great because you can even play with it while you're out on the trail. If you feel like you need load lifters, if you've got a heavy load to extend the torso size a little bit, just install them as load lifters, crank down, and then you get that extra lift on the torso. Or if you're near the end of the trip and you don't need them there because your pack is lighter and smaller, you can use them as bottom straps if you need to lash something to the bottom of your pack, to the outside of your pack. The top strap is a similar setup, totally modular, fully removable. When it is removed, there's no hardware left over. This minimizes the weight and there's nothing flopping around when it is removed. It's a pretty clean aesthetic to the pack. There's 3 attachment points here, kind of hidden in the front pocket, and 3 along the back panel. These 2 here and this one here, right behind the stay. You can use a Y strap if you'd like. It's a popular option for carrying a bear canister. Or I think a potentially better option for carrying a bear canister is to use 2 of the single top straps. One attached here, another one attached over here. You could potentially even use one of the side compression straps. Use your single top strap over here, use a compression strap over on this side, carry a bear can. Or the most simple and lightest option for the top closure setup is to just use these removable plastic stiffeners. It weighs about 0.4 ounces for the pair. They're removable, replaceable if you ever break one or lose one. They're super easy to replace. They just slide in and out. And the reason that I like these for the top closure is you can get a very secure close on the top, even with just 2 or 3 rolls. And you really don't even have to use a top strap at all. The top straps weigh about 0.8 ounces each, and they do provide some nice compression to the top of the pack. It cranks down right on that stay, and if you need to compress it a little bit, it's kind of nice, but you can definitely get away without the top strap. And if you want to go as light and minimal as possible, I will often just use the stiffener in there, which provides a very secure closure to the top. The spacer mesh that we're using for the shoulder straps and the hip belt is smooth spacer mesh, which is nice. It doesn't collect debris like pine needles and things like that, especially if it's flopped down onto the ground. That's always been probably the most annoying thing about most spacer mesh. This still, you know, is soft and padded, feels good against the body, but it's not, yeah, it doesn't collect as much debris as your typical spacer mesh. These hip belts are what's commonly referred to as a floating belt or a hanging belt. As you can see, it freely tilts forward and will just automatically kind of conform to whatever your pelvic tilt is, which is very comfortable. The attachments on the back of the belt are aluminum, so they'll never break. They're gated G-hooks. They can't slip off of the pack. There's 3 of them. This bottom one is attached directly to the bottom of the stay and provides excellent load transfer. It pretty much, these packs are good to about 35, 40 pounds, we find. And then if you take them above that, the belt will start to sag a little bit and become uncomfortable. But up to 35, 40 pounds is pretty good in these packs. In the 20-pound range, they're excellent. Pretty much covers everything. Bye.